Number one thing we as agents have to do is ask the right questions and then shut up and listen. We need to listen to our clients so we understand their risks. And then we need to educate. But unfortunately, small businesses aren't being educated. They're going online and trying to purchase these policies themselves without even talking to an agent. And when they're not talking to the agent, they're not looking at cyber liability. So in most cases, the clients we are talking with on small business, they have either never heard of it or haven't been ever presented with a quote. So they don't have the cyber liability that they do need. The craziest insurance claim I ever handled was a client of mine who was retired, and he worked part-time as a realtor. And as a realtor local in our community, he lived in a 55 and older, and he decided to go for a walk on a Saturday. He was going to go see his granddaughter at the high school, and she was in a play. And as he was walking, he was struck by a motorcyclist. They were both killed. That motorcyclist that was traveling at a high rate of speed not only was drunk and under the influence of drugs, they were speeding. They had no motorcycle license. They had no driver's license. It had been suspended for a DWI. He had no motorcycle insurance. My insured was struck walking in an area that there was no sidewalks. He wasn't breaking any law. There were no sidewalks there. And what ended up happening was the motorcyclist had a 9-month-old child that, and also had a mom. They sued my client who was walking, the uninsured and underinsured motorist. Because remember, the moral of the story is the motorcyclist was breaking the law. He did not have coverage. He did not have a license. My insured was walking. That's why his auto policy, uninsured and underinsured policy, covered that motorcyclist in the lawsuit. So my insured was killed. His estate was sued. His auto policy covered the first $500,000. His umbrella ended up covering an additional $2 million of coverage. It protected the estate. Who would ever think you're minding your own business, walking on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, you're struck by somebody breaking the law, and you have put your whole estate at risk. But fortunately, he had the right coverages, and we were able to protect his estate. The online portals or online quoting systems are good, but they leave a lot out, because the moral of the story is, how do we get to you, the prospect, and listen to your story? We need to ask a lot of questions. It's almost like we're an investigator trying to figure out all the things that you do. What's all the risks that we have to make sure that we cover? And that's what AI doesn't do. And that is also what these online rating systems don't do. So as an independent agent, our job is to investigate, ask a lot of questions, and then shut up and listen. Evaluate your answers so that we can provide answers and solutions to possible problems if you have a claim. Our job is to protect you and your assets and your future income. The number one thing I would change is technology amongst the Department of Motor Vehicles and the police department, because too many people are driving without insurance, and too many people who purchase insurance and do the right thing are being penalized for those that are breaking the law, knowingly breaking the law. And we that follow the rules, follow the regulations, are paying for that. The biggest emerging risk has been here the last 12 months and even longer. It's not talked about enough, is employment practices liability. Employees are suing more now than ever. If you're a business owner, you need to be protected. Your EPLI policy is an absolute must for every single business that has employees. It's the only way you're going to protect the financial future of your business, because employees are suing at an alarming rate, especially in the state that we are here in Connecticut. Lawsuits are everywhere. And if you're a small business, whether you're in Connecticut or anywhere else in the country, New York, California, we sell EPLI in all states. Much more difficult to get it in certain states. The two toughest states to buy EPLI with the highest deductibles and with the least amount of coverage is, because of the amount of lawsuits, is California is number one and New York is number two. Connecticut is not nearly as bad as those two states, but it's very, very alarming. It's very high up in the top 10 for lawsuits. So you need to be protected. If you're a business owner and you have employees, you need EPLI insurance.